Hi guys, welcome to the 12th of the 20 days of Power BI challenge with Zakrak Learning. Congratulations for making it this far. Today, we're going to learn about building AI visuals in Power BI. In Power BI, AI visuals leverage artificial intelligence and machine learning to provide deeper insights and automate data exploration beyond traditional visualizations. They offer distinct functionalities compared to standard visuals, enriching your analysis and storytelling capabilities. All right. In Power BI, there are four main AI visuals. All right. Number one, we have the key influencers. So if you go to the Insert tab, there's a group of icons for the AI visuals. You can also find them in the second to the last row of your visualization pane. Okay, so we have the question and answer visuals. What does it do? It allows you to ask natural language questions about your data and receive interactive responses. Okay, so you can ask questions about your data. Power BI uses NLPs, natural language processing, to give you a response. All right, it converts your questions into queries, runs them in the background, and returns a response to you. Another visual that you will be looking at today is the decomposition tree. Okay, what does the decomposition tree do? It breaks down a target value, right? Maybe a numeric value like sales, profit, quantity, and by contributing factors and sub factors. So you might want to see the breakdown of profit by country, region, state, and city. All right. You might want to see breakdown of profit or total sale amount by product category, subcategory, and product name. All right. So the composition trees, they do that. It does that for you. So we're going to be looking at how to create these visuals and apply them to our Superstore data set. Now, the first visual we are going to start with is the decomposition tree visual. All right, so to use the decomposition tree visual, you can either click from the visualization pane or the decomposition tree on the AI visuals group in the Insert tab. So I'm just going to expand that a little bit. I'm going to expand it a bit. Now, in the fields section of the visualization pane, you can see analyze, explain by, followed by tooltip. So most times you want to analyze a numeric variable. Okay, so let's pick a numeric variable from our facts table. So say we want to analyze profit. Okay, we'd like to analyze profit. That is sum of profit, the total profit. And we would like to explain it by a categorical variable. Say we would like to explain by location, for instance. And we pick the country. So we'll select the country. I'll select country, region, state, all right, and city, for instance. Okay, so let me uncheck country. All right, so let's start from there. So we are explaining by region, state, and city. All right, you can add more categorical columns to this. But let's see how the composition tree is in action. All right, so there's this small plus icon in front of the bar there. Okay, and you can click on it to expand and choose how you want the expansion to take place. Okay, so the columns we've selected for to break down our numeric column, region, state, and city, you can go right to them, or there's a suggested, AI suggested option. Do you want to know the high values? Do you want to know the low value? Like that. So if I go with region, for instance, let's just start with that. Immediately you see the regions in the composition tree. All right, so you can see the regions west, east, south, and central, and from there it's obvious that the west, it was the most profitable region in as far as the superstore is concerned, and then the central made the lowest amount of profit. Now we can also expand right to the states. So what about the states in the west region? Okay, now for the states in the west region, you can see that California, right, made the highest amount of sales or highest amount of profit, contributed to the highest amount of profit, followed by Washington. And then you can still expand to the city. So the cities in California, all right. So in California, we have Los Angeles. The top three are Los Angeles, San Francisco, and San Diego, as you can see. Okay. So clicking this will take you to the next page of the results. So let's say I want to do the same thing for the East region. I'll just click on it, and the values will be adjusted, all right, for the East region. You can see the New York contributed the highest amount of profit in the East region. If I click for South, the same thing. Okay, so to collapse it, all I need to do is remove, and remove. So let's do it again with the suggested value. So let's say we want to find out the highest value for my metric. Okay, so I'll just click high value. So you can see this is the high value by region. And if I click on the West region again, you see high value. So this is the AI now at work, all right, returning these values for me. So the composition trees are very useful when you want to break down a numeric or analyze a numeric field, right, by several categories. Awesome. So let's say we want to add more explainer columns here, and we would like to explain further by the customer. So I'll add customer segments here, and then I'll add the customer name. Okay, so I'll add customer segment and customer name. Okay, so you can see segment, region, and what? State. So consumer are the most profitable segments, customer segments. they are the most profitable. As far as the West is, as far as the regions are concerned, the West is the most profitable consumer wise, and then the same follows the same process. Okay, so I'll just drag this here. It was in the wrong position. Let's start afresh. All right, so we'll start by analyzing profit based on region. We'll start by analyzing our profit based on region, and then we'll continue to the states. All right, and from California, let's just continue to segments. So let's see our customers by segment. So you can see the breakdown of customers by segment in California. And if we decide to take further look at the components of the consumer category, let's say we want to see who are the customers that really make up the consumers in this location. All right, so you can see we have Christopher Conant, all of that. These are the consumers in these locations. See? So these are the consumers in this location. So what does this do for us? It helps us to break down, okay, and analyze a particular target variable. Now, the next visual we are going to look at is the key influencers visual. Key influencer visuals. Key influencers, they help you identify factors influencing a specific outcome in your data. Okay, so for example, we might want to analyze sales, okay, based on some other categories. All right, so what Power BI does is to use AI in the background to analyze the explainer variables based on the target variables and return what the key influencers of the target variables are, or the target variable is. Okay, so let's look at that in action. So we would like to analyze sales, that is total sales. Okay, so for the key influencers segment, we can ask questions like what influences sales to, is it increase or decrease? So let's start from the first one. What influences sales to increase? So we're going to add columns. We'll add columns like discounts. We'll add columns. Okay, so as you can see, just by adding one explainer field, you can see that it has brought out results based on what you have. It says sales is more likely to increase when sum of discount is 0.2 to 0.5 than otherwise on average. Have you seen that? So you can see 0.2 to what? 0.5, and sales will be what? More likely to increase. So let's say we do not want to summarize this value by anything. you just want to have it like that. So sales, discount, good. So let's add more. I'll add quantity. I don't want to summarize. I don't want to apply any summary to my analysis. So I'll just click on don't summarize. Okay. Awesome. So we can also expand by. So this is where we can add categorical columns that we could use to add more detail to the analysis. Okay, so let's expand by product category. So to use expand by, we have to apply a summary analysis to a summary to our explainer variables. If you don't do that, you cannot expand by another variable. Okay, so what do we have so far? So what influences sales to increase? First, when discount is between 0.2 to 0.5, right? Sales what? The average sales increases by 344.6. When quantity is more than 7, so an increase in the amount of quantity drives what? Increase in sales. You can see when the category is also technology, you can see that there's an increase in what? There's an increase in sales. And when the quantity is between 4 and 7, the sale is just 1. Okay, so this is for the first one. If you want to see the visual for the second one, okay, so you can see 1 or less, 1 or to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 7, more than 7. So when sales is more than 7, when quantity is more than 7 rather, sales goes up, definitely. Also, you can see technology, furniture, and office supply. Okay. And finally this. So you can keep adding explainer variables, okay, to get more understanding of your data. So let's say we would like to know more about region. We can drag that and add it to our data to be explained by fields. Okay. So you can see. Now, if we move to the top segment section of this visual, right, you can see that we found 2 segments and rank them by average of what? Sales and population size. So we have 2 segments. Okay, so first segment contains $640 in terms of average sales, and the second segment contains $443 in terms of average sales. So this is the analysis of those variables. So if once the category is not office supplies, then and quantity is greater than 4 and is less than or equal to 7, between 4 and 7, what do you have? In segment 1, the average sales will be this. This is $410.2 right? Higher than the overall average. So you can see segment 1 and the overall average. So segment 1 contains 915 data points. That's just 9.2% of the data. How about segment 2? As you can see, so segment 2 also between 1 and 7, less than or equal to 1 or is greater than 7, and you can see the analysis. So these are cool analysis that you can use AI for in your report. So that is the key influencer AI visual. So I'll just call these key influencers. Now let's look at another visual, AI visual, which is the smart narrative visual. The smart narrative visual. So what does the smart narrative visual, what does it do for us? The smart narrative visuals generate explanations of your visuals, all right? Generate explanations of your visual, and it's flexible. It changes the narrative based on the data points you select in your visual. So to see that in action, let's bring one of our visual. So we have this visual here, okay, profits by month. I'm going to copy it and just to save time and paste it here, okay. So with this particular chart selected, I'll click on I'll copy it rather, I'll just paste it again. Very good. So I'll click on the smart narrative. So you can see this is the smart narrative visual. I'll click on the smart narrative. Awesome. So as you can see, we have here that at $41.08, March had the highest average of profit. You can see that, and was 136%, which had the lowest average of profit at 17 points. So across all 12 months, average profit range from 17 to 41. So this is just a kind of statistical analysis, explanation of your visual. This is just like a statistical explanation of what you have in your visual, as you can see. All right. So the smart narrative helps you to explain or generate explanations for your charts. The smart narrative generates explanations for your charts. Now, the question is, this smart narrative might not be really, it might not look cool, right? It might not look cool in your report. It might not look cool in your report. So, for instance, if I click on a value, you see the smart narrative report begins to load, because it will adjust to whatever value I select in my report. So you can see October had 38 average profit, and if I uncheck it, you can see the whole thing. Now, there's a way you can attach these narratives to your visual. You can attach it to your visual. How do you do that? Let me show you. Now, I'll select my visual and go to the general section of the format pane. Okay. Under header icons, let's expand that and go down to the icons section. So when you expand that, at the very bottom, you see the smart narrative option there. Okay, so when I click on it, the smart narrative will be added to my smart narrative has now been added to my header icons. So now when I want to generate a smart narrative for my chart, I can simply click on it and it will load or it will load the explaining text for my visual. Okay, so it's something you can add to your visual for readers to see and follow through and see explanations for a particular chart. So smart narratives are very, very, very interesting to use. Now, you can also build your narrative from scratch by creating values, all right, that you can insert into your smart narrative. So for instance, if I want to add the average amount of profit, all right, I could say, I'll type here, what is the average profit? As you can see, the smart narrative is suggesting values that, or recommending values or recommending questions that I can ask my data. All right. So what is the average profit in the west region, or in region west? As you can see, that value is, the answer is what? $33 in the west region. All right, so I can save that and give it a name, maybe average profit in west region. Okay, so I'll click on save. You can format it how you want, of course. So let's say I want it to be in 2 decimal places, just 2 decimal places. Okay, awesome. So I'll save that, and as you can see, I've created that value. Okay, so I can add that value to my report or to my narrative. I can add that value to my narrative. Okay, so I could say the average profit in the west region was, can you see that? The value. Okay, so the smart narrative makes building your report so smooth and easy. Sometimes you create visuals, you don't know how to explain them. You can use your smart narrative to do that. Okay, so this is the smart narrative visual, AI visual. The next and last visual we'll look at is the question and answer visual. All right, the question and answer visual is a very powerful AI visual in Power BI. What does it do? It allows you to ask natural language questions about your data and receive interactive response. That is, you can ask questions about your data and Power BI converts it into queries. All right, your questions into queries and returns outputs, results based on your questions. So let's add a question and answer visual here. Okay, so I'll just drag that to fill the screen. Awesome. So can you see? So there are suggestions already based on your data model. All right, based on the data you have on ground, there are questions already. You see, compare sales versus quantity, sort locations by country, how many customers are there, all right? Total sale by customer, how many states are there? So you can even pick any of these suggestions, all right? So let's say I want to find out how many customers do we even have, all right? So I've clicked on it and you can see it has returned a value, all right, as what? Count of customers. So how many customers are there? See, 793 customers. Okay, so we could ask our own questions, right? So we could ask our own questions. So we could say how many products, that is, okay, product ID, okay, how many products ID are in the technology good category. So you can see it gives us the answer what? 404. So there are 404 products in the technology category. Okay, so you could also ask other questions. So let's see something that will give us a very nice looking visual. Okay, let's ask a question that will give us a very nice looking visual. All right, so you could say, what is the total monthly quantity? All right, and you can say how exactly you want the chart to appear. You can say exactly how you want it to appear. Okay, so let's say we want it in 2016. Okay, bar chart. Oh, sorry. Let's use a line chart instead. So this should be a line chart. Nice. So you can see this is what? This is the total monthly quantity in 2016. Okay, as a line chart. Monthly. Okay, so or let's write it in a more explicit format for so this will be the what is the sum of quantity by month sum of quantity by month in 2016. Awesome. So this looks way better. So the more you learn how to craft your questions, the better the output will be. So we now have this. So, but can we turn this into an actual visual? The answer is yes, a very big yes. How? There's an icon here. Okay, it says turn this question and answer result into a standard visual. All right, so when I click on it, Power BI turns it into a standard visual. So you can literally create visualizations for your report using the question and answer visual. So it has now been created, or it has now been converted into an actual visual. So I can continue by clicking on the question and answer button again, ask my questions, and Power BI will return answers based on those questions. Also, I now have the liberty to format my visual the way I want to, apply my themes and colors to it. So AI visuals are very, very useful. We cannot overemphasize their usefulness in creating your reports in Power BI. Okay, they allow for faster discovery of insights. Why? Because AI helps you automate. They help you find hidden patterns and correlations quickly. For instance, your key influencers chart. They also help you to have improved understanding of complex data. All right, and then they enhance communication of your findings. All right, so what you to remember is that AI visuals are there to complement. Do not upload the burden of all or the entire analysis to your AI visuals. All right, another thing that will help you to enjoy the full capacity of your AI visuals are data quality, all right, and preparation. When you have good quality data, well prepared, clean, well modeled data, it makes it easier for the models to, and for your AI visuals to find answers to your question quickly. So by incorporating AI visuals into Power BI, you can unlock deeper understanding, uncover hidden trends, and present your findings in a compelling way, especially when working with data sets like the Superstore data like this. Today, you've learned how to apply AI visuals to your reports, from the composition trees to key influencers to the smart narrative and the question and answer visuals. I want you to try your hands on all of this and give us your feedback in the comment section. The challenge is getting more interesting and more insightful. I hope you stick with us to the end. Tomorrow we'll begin to learn about DAX, how to use DAX, and some of the ways or different DAX formulas that you can incorporate into your Power BI model or your report.
See you in the next tutorial. Until then, don't forget to like this video, hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell to get updates on new videos, and share this video with your friends. Bye for now.